everybody, this is Tyler from TenthumbsPro.com coming at you with another lesson. Today we're doing blues and we're paying homage to the great Robert Johnson. A lot of people credit Robert Johnson for developing their love for blues. Eric Clapton was a big fan of Robert Johnson. Jack White's a big fan of Robert Johnson. This particular song's been covered by Clapton, Rolling Stones. A lot of different people have covered this gem, alright? So we're going to break it down in two forms. We're going to break it down in the Strummer version, because I want to make sure that everyone that's watching this video can play it. So we're going to do a Strummer version, and then I'm going to go through and teach you how to finger pick through it as close as I can to what Robert Johnson is doing. Robert did a lot with 6 strings. We're going to make the most of 4, but I think it's going to be some really cool results, and I think that you're going to really impress some people with the finger picking version, okay? So grab your ukulele, grab your brain, grab your attention span, and let's follow me on into the Mississippi Delta, and let's break down this ukulele blues right now. Alright, so let's break down this classic, this Robert Johnson classic that's been covered by the likes of Clapton, Rolling Stones, among many others. And today we are giving you a version based on Robert Johnson, and what you do with it after that is up to you. Okay? You can change it, because a lot of these covers, they change the tempo, maybe they change the chords, maybe, I mean they give it their own imprint, but I'm going to play as close to Robert Johnson as I can, and after that you can change it any way you want. It's going to assume a couple things. It's going to assume you kind of know how to do a shuffle groove. Not a down, up, down, up, down, up, but more of a down, up, down, up. And it's going to assume that you know how to mute, okay? If you need some extra help with that chunk strum, here's a link. Also, any mute can also just be replaced with a down strum. The chords you're going to need a G7, a G major, a G7. You're going to need a C major, D7. I'll be playing it like this, not the bar chord, playing the open shape. A7, and a C minor, which will be our only bar chord, and that'll be it, okay? So I'm going to start from the turnaround, because the turnaround is going to work as our introduction in the strumming version. And it's going to go a G for one strum, G7 for one strum, C for one strum, C minor for one strum, and then a whole bar of D7, which is going to be down, mute, down, mute. So that goes really slow. G, G7, C, C minor, D7. At speed. Alright, and then we're going to start the song. So together, G, G7, C, C minor, D7. And then we go into the G. Alright, now the first bar is a G. And I'm just going down, up, mute for one bar. 1 and 2, 3 and 4. And then the next 3 are G7. 1 and 2. Okay, so let's play the first 4 bars together with that. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay? Then after those 2 bars, you're going to play 2 of C major. Okay? So from the first G, G7, bar 3, bar 4, change, bar 5. Alright, then you're going to go back to the G, but the G is going to be 1 of G major, and then 1 of D7. Okay? So it's half a beat, or down, up, mute, down, up, mute. Down, up, mute, down, up, mute. And then you go to G for a full bar. So those 2 bars, And this would be bars 7 and 8. Alright, so from the very top. And then we're going to go into the turnaround, and the turnaround is going to be A7 for 1 bar, D7 for 1 bar, and then the same turnaround we did earlier, G, G7, C, C minor, D7. So that whole turnaround, A7, D7, G, G7, C, C minor, D7. Alright? And you start over. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to start from that little intro, and then I'm going to play the whole 12 bar loop 2 times. If you can do that, you have the strum along version. So here we go. The train to the station. Alright, so that's the whole jam for the Strummer version. Now we're going to be breaking it down finger picking style. So we should probably start with the introduction, and the introduction is going to look like this in the finger style. Okay, I'm doing these triple stops, 5th fret of the A string, 4th fret of the G string, tripola, and that's the triple time, alright? So that means there's 3 beats in every what would normally be a quarter tone. Tripola, tripola, 1 pola, alright? And I'm actually going 1 pola, 2. So I'm doing tripola, and then hitting the same 2 notes on the first beat, well, on the second beat of the measure, okay? Tripola, 2. You're going to start the next tripola 1 triplet earlier, so it's going to be like La, tripola, 4. So it looks like this. So you're playing, the shape moves half a step down, and you're playing the shape 5 times, because you're playing it 1 triplet before the 3rd beat, and then 3 pola, and then again on the very beginning of the 4th beat. So 1 pola, 1 pola, 2, 3 pola, 4. Down half step again, and you come in just a little early. Alright, so you play it 5 times, let 1 pola, 2, alright, and then half a beat, and then you're gonna grab that 2nd fret of the C string. So that goes. Alright. And then you're going to come up here, grab the G string on the first beat, You're going to go 1 and 2. That 2 is you're going to pinch the 5th fret and you're going to pluck the G string of the 1st fret. Alright? So you're going to go 1 and 2, pull la, 3, pull la, 4, and 1. One and 2, pull la, 3, pull la, 4, and 1. Alright? After that 1, what I'm doing here is I'm moving with my index finger from the 5th fret chromatically down to the 2nd fret. So the first 2 are just the open hits, 1 and 2. Now this is when I hit that 5th fret on the 2nd beat. 2, pull la, slide it down to the 4th fret, 3, pull la, stay on the 4th fret, and that's when I go 4 and 4 on the 4th fret. And on the offbeat, on the and to the 3, and then on the 1 of the 4th bar is when I hit the 2nd fret and the open one. Then after that pluck, I come down and I mute, and during that mute I change to a D7, and I come back up and down and down. Then I go into the song. So the song's going to start on a G, so let's play this whole intro together and let's finish on that G. Here we go from the top. Oops. So here we go from the top. Alright? Okay, so now we're going to go into the part over the G. The principal part, this is a very sparse rhythm, so what I'm doing is I'm fretting a G chord and I'm taking my index finger and plucking the E string, which is the 3rd note, or the G note of on the E string, pluck, and then I'm taking my middle finger and my thumb on the G string, middle finger on the A, and pinching. Pluck, pinch, pinch, pinch. 1, 2, 3, 4. Alright? 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 and on the offbeat, I'm going to pluck the 2nd fret of the C string, and then I'm going to switch to a G7 and I'm going to repeat the same thing, except now I'm going to be plucking 1st fret of the E string. 1 and, or 1, 2, 3, 4. So that goes 1, 2, 3, 4, and 1, 2, 3, 4. Now, once you're on the G7, you're going to be hitting that 2nd fret, but you're going to be sliding into it. Alright, so from the 1st fret, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 1, 2, 3, 4, and 1, 2, 3, 4, and on the 4th fret, you're going to be playing a triplet, 1st fret, E string, C string, E string on the 1st beat. 1 pull la, 1 pull la, 2 and 4. 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 And that's the 4th measure. So the first 4 measures from the G. Okay, so the very first 4 measures, the G and the 3 G7s. Here we go. 1. And then you're going to go into the C. The C is just going to be a strumming. The same as in the verse version. A down, up, mute, down, up, mute, down, up, mute. Now you can also take out some downs and some ups and some mutes and do something like down, up, mute, down, 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 up, mute, down, up, mute. And start to use some individual fingers to maybe mix the strumming and plucking, like a pluck, up, mute, pluck, up, mute, pluck, pluck, mute. That's up to you. But the C really is just going to be down, up, mute, down, up, mute, down, up, mute, down, up, mute. So that's the first 6 bars. First 6 bars from the top. Now, bar 7 is going to be we're going to play half G, half D7. And what I'm doing here is I'm playing triplet rhythms, but I'm only playing the first and the third of the triplet. I'm not playing the second. So I'm like tri, la, tri, pa, silent, la, tri, la. So I'm going G string, E string, and then I'm plucking G, E, and A on the second beat. Alright? And then I'm fretting a D7, and I'm going to run up the G, C, and E strings on the third beat in triplet fashion. 3 pola, 4. 3 pola, 4. With the pull, you can pluck all 4, or you can pluck the same 3 that you did on the G7, which would be the G, E, and A. So that one bar. Alright, let's do that again. And then the last bar before the turnaround is just a regular bar of G. Okay, so those 2 bars, which would be bars 7 and 8. Okay, so now we're into the turnaround. The turnaround for the bar number 9 and 10 is going to be over the A7 and the D7. And the A7 is just going to be, you're going to fret the A7, but you're not going to play the C string at all. You're going to be plucking the G, and then you're going to be using your middle finger on the E string, or A string, and your pointer on the E string. Okay, can you see that? And what I'm doing here is I'm going to go 1 on the G string, 2, 3, 4 with these 2, and then with the pointer finger on the off beat after the 4, I'm going to pluck the E string. So it goes 1, 2, 3, 4, and. Okay, now the D is going to be a little more complicated. We're going to fret the D7, and we're going to go 1, we're going to pinch both of the 2 on the first beat. 1, and thumb on the C string, and then index finger on the second fret of the E string for the second beat. 1 and 2 and 1 and 2 and 4. So you're gonna wait on the third beat's gonna be silent. On the off beat of the third beat, you're gonna pluck that second fret again, and then you're going to pluck on the fourth beat both the E and the C string. So it goes 1 and 2 and 4. Okay, so the A and the D7. Okay, now we have the actual final part of the turnaround. Okay, so that turnaround looks like this. 1, 2 pola, 3 pola, 4, and 1. Okay, now the D7, you could do a down, mute, down, up, mute. I like to do a down, up, mute, down. And let that ring out from the third beat. 3, 4, and then start over. So that whole turnaround from the A7 looks like this. 1. Well, I'm not going to count it actually, I'm just going to play it. Here we go. And then you start over. Okay, so I'm going to play the entire thing from the beginning, and after the turnaround I'm going to finish on a G. So I'm going to play the intro, the whole 12 bars, through the turnaround, and then I'm going to finish on a G. So here's our play along from the very top. Here we go. Just repeat it so I strum through at that G. Okay? Alright. Love in Vain Blues. I hope you dig it. I hope it helps you. Robert Johnson was the man. So that'll be it for today's Delta Blues lesson. Alright, TenthumbsPro.com. If you made it this far, it means you did that whole lesson, and I know it wasn't easy. There's a lot of different things happening in there, but I'm really, really proud of you for putting that together, okay? Tenthumbspro.com. Thumbs up if it helped you. Subscribe, tell your friends, buy your girlfriend or boyfriend a ukulele, or your grandma or your grandpa a ukulele for Christmas, and everybody can play and everybody's happy. Tell them where you learned, Tenthumbspro.com. And until next time, a big hug from us to you. Take care and keep on loving life and keep on playing ukulele. All right, take care.